Houston Rockets fans, we're getting some wins away now.
The Dubs.
Uh, Feel repetitive, but I mean, 2 wins against Memphis, I'm gonna take them. A win in Denver, I'm gonna take it. Uh,
We beat OKC. We beat San Antonio in an ugly ass game. Like we dogged that one out.
hmm
What'd you call it before? That's the Ime effect.
Yeah, it's crazy because I mean, of course, the players deserve all the credit for the work they're putting in, but we talk about it all the time off camera. It's like the accountability that Ime holds his players to is amazing. Like, no matter if it's their star player and Jalen and Sengun, down to anybody else. It's like Tari's balling. All right, Sengun, you're out. Tari, you're in. Let's go.
That's why
Jalen.
it's like a different hero in every game. It's like tonight, second game against Memphis, Dillon Brooks went off. The last game it was Tari. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every night it's somebody different. Every night it's a different lineup that finishes the game. Like Ime just he fills the game out.
Yeah.
Who's giving effort, who's making buckets, who's doing what we need to get the dub, and it's working. I like it.
And you'll see some teams. I mean, we come from the Steven Silas past few years where it's like, oh, those are my guys, so I'm gonna go with them. And it's like, yeah, but they're one for whatever. So try some new guys out. I
It's
mean,
just like the for to that point, the past two games against Memphis, Jalen and Sengun sat on the bench to finish those games.
yep. And you'll see him do it. I mean, a lot of teams do it, but it's all right. Defense, all right. You two out. I'm putting the other green in. I'm putting this guy in. Boom, let's go. Aaron Holiday's carved out a good bench.
That block he had tonight, I just don't know how you don't find minutes for that guy.
Yeah, he's making it tough, and he's up there shooting technical free throws, and he's out hitting threes, and he
It's funny because I don't want to say, oh, we got a Drew Holiday on our team, but it kind of looks like he does a lot of the same thing.
and he's good with not turning the ball over. Like between Fred and Aaron Holiday, you look at the plus minus on turnovers and
Mm-hmm.
assists, it's ridiculous, bro. Like they just know not to turn the ball over. Like they'll get the pass, they'll make some shots, but turning the ball, like I ain't worried about that.
I don't really worry about that either, as long as Sengun ain't got the ball. But he's not too bad about it either, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. It's just some games we are bad, especially lately. It's like, man, we'll have a game or two where we're just kind of like, man, we didn't give y'all shit. And then some games where it's like, we can't stop beating ourselves.
Yeah. Like, I mean, this last Memphis game, we were down 17 points. You and me were like, oh, this is an ugly game. And they came back, won. I mean, it wasn't pretty because, of course, you want your star players to show up, but we say it too. All the crap that Jalen gets, all the crap that Shingun gets, it seems to start for at least Shingun, it's barely starting up. But Jalen's
Mm-hmm.
been getting a lot of it. But when it's the big games against the big teams,
But to that point, because I had like five conversations unwarranted, unwanted. I didn't
yes,
solicit them, but they found me. It's like, okay, say for instance, the first game against Memphis, Jalen and Sengun sat on the bench for the entirety of the fourth quarter. Jalen was playing bad.
yeah,
I don't blame. Like I understand it, right? But Sengun wasn't playing good either. But the whole time I'm hearing these people say, "Are like, well, that's why Jalen deserves to be on the bench. Jalen." And I was like, why does Jalen deserve this punishment and Sengun don't? Or we weren't saying that shit about Jabari when he was on the. It's like, why are we so quick to hold him to a higher standard of expectation than the other players?
and I think people it's just because the draft. But even at the end of the day, if you're gonna sit there and say, okay, Jalen, we got you at 3 or 2 or whatever it was, but then Shingun, we got you as a steal. Okay, well, looking back at it, Shingun should have been higher. So I'm gonna hold you both accountable at the same damn thing as a top
Mm-hmm.
10, top 5 person. Like just being realistic. So you both came in at the same damn time. I'll hold you accountable at the same time. Because it's weird because we'll hold Jabari and Tari kind of the same accountability a bit,
Yes.
even though Jabari was picked before Tari. and he was supposed to be more dominant in that sense of it. I'm sure it's going to happen with Amin and Cam Whitmore. We're going to be a lot more adamant on Amin and not Cam. And it's weird, but the thing is, like a today game, you're going to hear people complain about Jalen. You're going to hear nobody say anything about Sengun. They both had 14 points and 15 points, shot 4 for 12. Like, but
That's what I'm saying. Like Jalen, he gets it, bro. He takes a lot of shit for stuff that he don't deserve all of it. He's like a quarterback. They take the blame.
yeah. And I guess if you're the quote unquote face of the franchise, somebody's going to take the blame. It seems like every in the NBA especially, there's always teams like it's Jalen Brown and Tatum. Like I
Yeah,
always hear all the people talking like, "Oh, Jalen Brown sucks," but I was like, "Well, he kind of held the team together." Like, yeah, but Tatum's better. I'm like, "Well, yeah, he sucked today," and they're like, "Yeah, but it's not his fault. It's Jalen." I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, and I hear it all the time with teams with multiple people on the team, like, and I guess it's just at if you want to be the big dog, you're either going to get the blame or you're going to get the love, and he don't get no love from a lot of our fans.
it seems like the big dogs on their team are like Van Vliet and Jeff Green
Hmm.
because like it don't feel like they could do any wrong. You know what I mean?
Which that was our problem, quote unquote,
Yeah.
coming into the season. Oh, these contracts are terrible. Rockets are going to regret this. This is the dumbest free agent signings so far. Raphael Stone, I give you credit, bro. Dillon Brooks, amazing signing. Fred VanVleet, everything we needed in stability in a point guard.
Jeff
Defensive
Green,
wise, Jeff Green, what the
Holiday,
hell? Holiday. Even what's his name? The center that we
Landell.
Landell, he's coming in a
Yeah,
little bit.
he's been hurt and shit. He hasn't got momentum yet, but I do believe at some point where he's used to getting rotation minutes and he's not hurt. He's the people are they're gonna like him too.
And then you add in the draft picks. I mean, Cam Whitmore alone, it was like, bruh, it's like,
Like you
all
didn't
right,
even see JaSean today,
I know.
and in some games he don't stop playing. So like that's why it's so important that you have the right coach for this team, and Ime was the guy.
I said Ime wanted to come here for a lot of the reasons we're seeing now. Ime, like hearing the players, like even Sengun when he told him, "Coach me hard, coach me the way
Hmm.
I get coached in like Turkey, like on my national team, like hold me accountable." And Jalen Green, the same thing. He was like, I mean, the weird thing is like being honest with NBA players. We say this a lot. If you're a bum, you're not practicing with the other super. You're not just out there unless that's your boy. Like
Yup.
you know. But if you're over there practicing with like Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, all these big time names, and they're talking about you like, hey, this dude got some skills. Why
But
you that hard?
that's even applicable to our team because when you know, like, if you're a player on the Rockets and you know Ime is willing to give minutes to whoever's doing what that position requires, you're going hard all the time. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, I believe that Aaron Holiday's in practice looking at Van Vliet like I'm trying to bust your ass. Like, I know you make 50 million and they're not going to give me your spot, but they're going to give me minutes. So, what do you say? Iron sharpens iron.
And that's the way it is. I mean, we we come down to the realization that a lot of these guys are getting their first real coaching in the big leagues because
Mm-hmm.
no disrespect to Steven Silas, that whole staff was pretty much a joke of
I
coaching.
was kind of like uh pissed off about how Ime was doing the lineup early in the season because I felt like he was like pulling Jabari kind of early, or like he didn't give the shit time to marinate. I didn't feel like, but
Yeah.
then I started thinking about it and I was like, I don't hate what he's doing anymore for two reasons. It's like you can always go to your hot hand. You know what I'm saying? Like you're cycling the players, you know who the hot hand is, so you can go to that. Or two is you can overcome any injury because you're always playing these guys anyway. But then also the reason that it stuck out to me, the third reason is like you don't have a style of play, like a specific style of play. Because you have like that melting pot of players who just want to come in and play. Like some lineups are fast, some are slow, 3-point lineups, defensive lineups. So
Yeah.
you never know what you're getting from us. and that's the Ime effect to me.
And it we see it the way that he plays different teams. All right, how do we line up like with this guys? How do we match up here? How do we do this? And it's like, all right, we're going up against, and it's we see it the Ime effect of Jalen Green. We're going up against them. That guy took your damn spot. Go get him. All
Mm-hmm.
right, I got you, coach. Hey, Joker is your boy, right, Shingu? Yeah. All right, go body him. Go. Dillon Brooks, I'm pretty sure we're gonna hear in a thing. He's like, hey, you remember this was the game you circled on your calendar? Go out there and get. And it's like when your coach is feeding, and he even said it, he goes, he believed in me. He goes, I only had 2 points. He goes, I came and dropped 20,
Mm-hmm.
26 at the end of it. It's like that's your coach believing in you, gassing you up, and that's what you need. You need that.
That's the why Ime knew like his duties, like soft ass little boy LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like he stepped in, he
Yep.
established his dominance. He reminded the team like I'm one of you, and I just like it. Like I haven't hated watching the Rockets at all. Actually, I prefer watching Rockets basketball over any team, not just because I'm partial to it, but it's actually fun basketball.
It's been really fun games. Like when I tell people all the time, they're like, "Should I keep start watching?" I was like, "I'm not gonna tell you what to do and not to do, but if you're trying to jump back on the bandwagon, this is the season to do it. Like it's competitive basketball. It's fun to watch. The team is fun to be around. Like just watching them is fun. Like the stuff they do, like the defensive plays. Like when the fuck was the last time we had defensive stops and shit? Like I don't remember this shit. Like
I was about that's why I said in one of the other videos. I said this is the best defensive team we've had since like the '90s. This team defensively is better than anything we had with Harden.
oh yeah. And that's why when people try to compare Green's defense and Hard, I was like, hell no. Hell no. I'll see Green. Green would try to go for a dunk or he tried to get a block earlier. And I was like, hey, you went up, contested it. That's all I can ask, bro. Harden would have been like,
That's another one of those unrealistic things about that fool is because he was the number two pick. People were like, well, he's not a good defender. And it's like, well, he's getting better. And they were like, yeah, but like, fucking, this is how Thibault would guard that. And I was like, but he don't guard like Thibault. What are you talking
mm-hmm.
about? You just asked him to be a better defender, not expect him to be a great defender. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. And I think it ties into Ime of it's a team. It's like what he
Mm-hmm.
said. That we're gonna win no matter what. We're gonna go with the hot hands, like you said. And the players you we were watching the game, you're like, I don't see you Jalen or Sengun getting mad that they've been benched. And it's like, no, they know like, hey, what's best for this team is that I'm on this bench and our best defenders are out there. Let's get this win and then I'll come back and practice and I'll try to do it the next game. Or
It was super dope to me because Tari got the dunk on the fast break. The first person clapping is Jalen. You know what I'm saying? It's like he easily could be bitching that he's not in the game, but it's like he's cheering from the bench because he understands why he's on the bench right now.
yep. And it's like it happens, guys.
There was a
Go
game we played against. It was the game that Cam Whitmore scored those points at. I think it was against Dallas. We lost.
oh yeah, at the end.
So in that game, people were being dicks to Cam, saying that he's like nonchalant, he don't care, he's just sitting there. And I was watching the highlights of that shit again. And in that game, Jalen Green had went up to dunk on somebody, but he lost the ball in the air, and then he got fouled on the thing. But as he was going up, like Cam jumped off the bench. He was the only person like he was fitting to cheer and shit. And I was like, so he's also showing the team love, and he don't even get credit for that. You know what I mean? Like there's so
Yep.
many things that we don't recognize that goes on there, but we're still critical of them. It's like just
And
chill the fuck out. We're winning.
that's the thing. I think as like a fan, we see the little parts of it. Oh, look, he's doing there, all that. But it's like there's teams with players fighting each other, punching each other, doing all this stuff, and we're there out here having fun. You see like plays where Dylan and Van are hugging each other, Shingun and Jalen, all this for years. Jalen and Shingun hate each other. Jalen and Shingun don't like each other, and they're over here hugging on each other. Like we finally got a real team and shit, bro. Like we all struggled together. Like
What it is it's the people with the what do they call it?
getting
They write a big dog check that their puppy dog ass can't cash. It's like we're better, but like you can't have championship expectations for this team this year. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. You're asking them to do championship shit when you should be asking them to change their habits towards that.
And it like now the way we're playing now, we keep it up. Playing tournament is
That's the expectation
yeah,
for me. Like that's very reasonable. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And then you see what happens. But like you understand, I was like, you're a playing team for a reason.
yeah. And as
You're
I said,
gonna
we
fuck
start
up.
getting home, man, we're great. Away, we're barely starting to add some stuff to it. If that starts to go up, okay, hold on, we playing with something here. Ime, you're rubbing off on everybody. I like this, but it's like you say, halt expectations a bit. We're a year
I'm
early.
thoroughly convinced. Also, the frequency of games, the increase in games, is helping us
Yeah,
because we play so many people.
and yeah, I think it's gonna be man these next few games because we're getting back to backs, back to backs. If you
Yep.
have not watched Rockets basketball, you can enjoy it because it's gonna be I get to watch it again tomorrow. Cool, and it's not 5, 6 damn days where you're sitting here and we're just like, well, what's going on with the Rockets? Oh, they're in
Yeah, I
Kashada.
forgot.
Yeah, it's like they're chilling. They're doing a
For,
bake sale. It's dope.
forgot the season even started.
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, Rockets sit in six, 13-9. So
But I think that's what we'll do. We'll fluctuate from like that's kind of that area 5 6 down to the last play in. You know, probably more last play in. But I mean, if I told you that what we've been doing will keep us 7 8 9 seed the rest of the year, I'd be pleased with that.
hmm I just want a playing game.
Yep.
I just want a playing game. I'm like, give me a playing game. We ain't worrying about that lottery and all that stuff. Let those other teams worry about it. We always go back to Oklahoma City. Let the meat
Hmm.
marinate. Let it soak. Let it do this. Build through what you have, and those players will start to grow. And
I'm still convinced. I'm a fan of the OKC Thunder, how they play, how they what they do. I think Shea's all world, probably top 5 or 6 player in the world. But I still think Houston has more talent on it than the Oklahoma City Thunder. So that's why I get excited. It's like, all right, because we kind of mimic what y'all did a little bit. So in my
hmm
mind, I think we can be better.
I'm hyped.
Word.
Rockets fans, if you made to this point, like, subscribe. Let us know you agree with our takes on Jalen, Sengun. How are you loving Ime Udoka? How you loving Dillon the Villain? How you loving Fred VanVleet? Anybody out there, there's a lot of them. Let us know in the comments. Drop any questions you have, we'll answer them. Maybe do some videos on them. Watch the Rockets, support them. They are very fun this year. They deserve to have some sellout games for sure.
Yes.
But other than that, we are out of here, Houston. Much
Peace.
love.